And that was Stephanie Freed reporting. The conflict in Ukraine tops the agenda at NATO's Chiefs of Defense meeting in Lithuania. Will both Russia and Ukraine sharing borders with NATO members we spoke with tell us more. We spoke also with Anthony Salvia with the American Institute in Ukraine, and he talked about Ukraine President Poroshenko's recent visit to the U.S. and the takeaway from it ending with Ukraine gaining non-NATO ally status with the United States.
He gained a lot politically, first of all, by being in Washington, by being in the Oval Office with the president, by addressing a joint session of the House and Senate. That's a big deal politically inside the Ukraine. When it comes to the items you mentioned, he didn't get those. On the other hand, we don't know what kind of agreements may have been reached out in terms of covert aid. They may have amounted to much the same kind of thing in terms of the kind of military lethal hardware he's looking for. In addition to that, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee have actually passed legislation that would, in fact, establish Ukraine as a non-NATO ally of the U.S., which is the status accorded to major allies like Israel and Pakistan. That's something that Poroshenko wanted. He wanted a public affirmation of that, at the White House, and that didn't happen. But
also making news, President Vladimir Putin has privately said he could invade Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states. This is according to a record of a conversation with his Ukrainian counterpart. What do you make of this report?
It's hard to know what to make of it since, we don't have the precise give and take that took place in that meeting. There was recently a report that he said in a private meeting that he could roll all the way to Kiev in a matter of 2 weeks. And this was widely presented as evidence of aggressive intention. But, you have to look at the context. He's been accused, including by the unelected Prime Minister of Ukraine, of wanting to seize Ukraine. And he may have said in a meeting, well, if I wanted to seize Ukraine, why would I be, aiding rebels in the east or something? Why would I could roll all the way to Kiev in 2 weeks, which is not the same thing as a threat.
The EU actually announced more sanctions, as you know, against Russia, focusing on the energy, financial, and arms sectors. Are these going to hit hard?
Well, they could well. That doesn't mean that it'll influence Russian behavior much. I mean, that's the other side of the coin. Moscow is not, inclined to just let Ukraine go. As far as the sanctions are concerned, he's already taken steps to counter sanctions imposed by the Europeans that have actually imposed great pain on the Europeans. The reports in Germany are that 50,000 German jobs could be at stake because of the countermeasures that Putin has placed on the Europeans. So there's always the boomerang effect. And, we've seen a lot of Europeans express dismay at these sanctions. What is this getting us? It's only hurting us economically. It's not really influencing Russian behavior. Moreover, it's only solidifying Russia's relations with China, which there have been agreements with China that would allow for the Chinese to provide financing to Russian energy companies, which is something that the sanctions are intended to prevent.
Why is Putin not more concerned about the state of his relationship with the EU and also his relationship with Germany, a longtime ally?
Well, he's very concerned about the relationship. I mean, for Europe, rather for Russia, Europe is key. It's a critical market. There's a whole history there of Russian involvement with Germany. And it was always a source of invading Russia through Poland, and the whole sort of security dimension to what goes on in Europe is vital to Russia historically and to the present day. So they don't want to see relations disrupted. On the other hand, they feel that the overthrow, this whole tension with Ukraine, the destabilization of the country that's taken place from their point of view, and I'm not saying they're right, but just to present their point of view, it originated in the violent overthrow of the elected government of Yanukovych, something in which the U.S. and the Europeans were involved. And so consequently, he has a dilemma. He doesn't want poor relations with the Europeans. On the other hand, he can't look the other way as the Western powers seek to seize Ukraine and use it for their own purposes against Russia.